Hey, Johnny, good morning. It's a little cloudier than I had hoped this morning. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you've got something fun on the menu. I know, listen to the birds. We are here in Denton, Maryland, and it's a town that one might completely miss. Traveling to the Maryland beaches, when you go from Baltimore and Washington out to the Maryland beaches, the highways bypass these small towns, which is a good thing for the small towns, of course, to keep all the traffic off of these beautiful main streets. But then those that go by year after year might think that the town is the ugly shopping center that you see from the highway. And it's not. These beautiful main streets are just a few minutes off the main road. Oh, you're working today, Johnny. Well, I hope it's a good day for you. I do hope it's a good and easy day for you. So we're starting our journey on Market Street, which is Denton, Maryland's Main Street. This is a really cool Main Street community. We're starting it at the courthouse, and as you can see, there's some renovation going on the cupola on the top of the courthouse. But there's lots to see here. Hi, Nayab. Nice to see you. Hello, Zahid Editor. This is the United States of America. We are in Denton, Maryland, on the eastern shore of Maryland. And we're just about to start our Main Street walk. We're here at the courthouse. This is the Caroline County Courthouse. We are in Caroline County. That's Denton, Maryland is the county seat of Caroline County. And you can see the courthouse grounds still have the flags from Veterans Day, which we celebrated this past week. But there's some amazing history right here. I had no idea. As you can see, President Franklin Roosevelt was here in 1938 on Labor Day. He came here to give a New Deal speech to encourage the farmers. This is an agricultural area of Maryland, to encourage the farmers and the factory workers to get together behind all the New Deal programs. And here are some pictures of President Franklin standing here giving his speech. He would have been standing right here. This marker marks the place where President Roosevelt stood. Where's Rockville? Rockville's in Montgomery County, probably an hour and a half from here, closer to Washington, D.C. But this is Denton in Caroline County, Maryland, on the other side of the beautiful Chesapeake Bay. So here's where President Roosevelt stood. It is the privilege of some of us to dream dreams and some of us to carry out the dreams of others. Okay. So he stood here looking this way, giving his speech. So already lots of history. If you have your Main Street bingo card handy, we've already hit several items and I haven't even taken a step. So here we have courthouse, check. We have those town banners that usually honor servicemen and women who served in the wars. And this one in particular honors Mervyn Seward, who volunteered for perilous flight. He was a pilot at West Point, died in an ice storm in a peacetime mission in 1926. That's pretty cool. We're walking east on the Main Street here, which is Market Street. We'll walk all the way east to the end. We'll turn around and come back. Great to see everyone this morning. All right, let's make our way. Tell us where you're all from. This is Maryland, the beautiful Maryland Eastern Shore. And it's a cloudy one today. Sorry, thought we were going to get Some more sunshine today. I'll stay on this side of the road. We'll come back down on the other side and we'll check out all the historic markers along the way. But here, and I have papers today. I brought I brought a map and a list today. I did a lot of research today. So this building, this is number, is this number 118? No, this is number, I don't know what, yeah, 118. This was a bank. Unfortunately, it's not still a bank. And you can see it says People's National above the windows. So this was the People's National Bank, according to my list. This was built in 1906. So it's a good one. It's got that really good bank feel. Almost a little bit of a, I don't know, a little bit of a Masonic feel there. But right next door, the Masonic building at 112 to 116 Market Street, it's now called the Law Building, and it was a prior Masonic lodge. And you can see the Masonic symbols there in that sign above the door. Hi, Jonathan. Jonathan, nice to see you. Very nice to see you. Hello, General Kratos. Have I been in Las Vegas? Have I been in Las Vegas? Yes. Yes, but not for a Main Street walk. Not for a Main Street walk. You can take a look. A good simple stone bank for a small town. That's a good building. So we started here, for those just joining, we started right here at the courthouse, so we can check off courthouse from your Main Street bingo card. You can check off town banner from your Main Street bingo card. And we'll see what else we can check off the card. This one's not on my list of old residences. This looks very 20th century to me. But here we are at the corner of Market and 2nd Street, and we have the town hall. So we can check that off our bingo card too. We're gonna have a bingo really quickly today. The town hall. See if we have a date on that. $1900. All right, it looks like that was 1900. I don't know, the front parts of that building look a little newer than 1900 for sure. Hi, Mansoor. Hello, Jonathan. Nice to see you. Is this a Scientology building? No, this is the town hall in beautiful Denton, Maryland. It's a cloudy morning. I hope the sun comes out. It's going to be a beautiful morning if the sun comes out. All right. This is just a beautiful Main Street view right here. Check for traffic. Get a beautiful Main Street view here. Hello, Arjun. Nice to see you. Yeah, this is a relatively modern town hall. But mixed in, we're going to see the historic architecture here. Which place is this? This is Denton, Maryland, a little small town on the eastern shore of Maryland. It's the county seat, the capital of the county of Caroline County, Maryland. So this is one of the main streets. This is designated a Maryland Main Street. It's pretty cool. This one is number, yeah, that building, it says 1964 on that cornerstone. So this building must have been rebuilt. This is definitely not a 1900s town hall. This one here at number 205 and 207 Market Street. I don't have anything on my list for this one. Oh, yes, I do. I take that back. This is 211 and 213 Market Street. This is the home of the former newspaper, the Denton Journal. And you can actually see it at the top of the building, a little cheat there. 1845 to 1901. So there was a prior building here. This building was completed in 1901. So this is where the local newspaper was. And today it's a gun shop. Have I seen the movie Anora? No, I have not. I have not. Next door, this building is Wright Real Estate, but it certainly looks like it too probably dates back to the early 1900s. Wooden siding replaced, certainly. Probably original cornices around the roof. Hi, good morning. And other more modern buildings on the rest of this block. These little sign, what are we gonna call these? This is like the third one. There's one on every block here. Little billboard for information. Denton in bloom. Interesting. And we can also check off the historic lamp posts here. Usually quite distinctive on main streets. Is this Finland? No. Thank you, Arjun. This is Denton, Maryland. A Maryland main street, a historic main street in Maryland. This is on the Eastern Shore on the other side of the Chesapeake. And we're playing Main Street Bingo. And we've already seen the town hall, the courthouse, the banners, and the lampposts. So we're gonna have a really good day for Main Street Bingo today. This building says Carter Block, 1905. I don't have any information on this. Is huge. This could have been, oh, if this is number 328, this was the former hardware store. Okay, so now we have historic hardware store on our Main Street Bingo card. If you have no idea what I'm talking about when I keep saying Main Street Bingo, if you go to my channel and you go to the posts section, if you flip through probably 5 or 6 prior posts, you'll actually get the bingo card. And you can look at it or download it if you think that's fun for any reason. I do. Hi, Deborah. Nice to see you. Hey, Glenn. Maryland is not in Louisiana. Maryland is its own state. It's on the Chesapeake Bay. It is surrounding Washington, D.C. It is the mid of the mid-Atlantic states. Europeans won't realize that Maryland is a U.S. state. Well, some of them do. But this was the hardware store. When we cross over, we'll get a much better view of how big this building is. And other little shops down these streets. So if you happen to be traveling to the Maryland beaches on the Atlantic, and you go through, or you travel down Route 50, Route 50 bypasses all these beautiful small towns. Denton, Easton, Cambridge. I'm probably missing a whole bunch of others. But if you have the time, get off the beaten path and travel down these beautiful Maryland main streets. Even if you're not an architecture fan like I am, there's great little shops and restaurants and pubs and lots of things to see. Hello, Henning. top right corner. No, it is on the right side. It's in the middle. It's where the Chesapeake Bay is. The Chesapeake Bay is the world's largest estuary, you know, where fresh water meets the ocean. And I won't say it cuts the state in half, because technically it's not in half. But on one side of the bay, on the western side, are the big cities, Baltimore, Washington, D.C. And then on the eastern side, the agricultural history still thrives here. And you got these beautiful small towns. Super quiet right now. It is 8:13 in the morning. I hope I'm not waking anyone up. I probably am. In this quiet little town. But I have hundreds of small towns to see in Maryland, so I have to do this every weekend. It is near Virginia, correct. Louisiana is in the south, that's right. Maryland is next door to Virginia. Now check this one out. Okay, so this is 325. Do I have anything on this one? I do not. That definitely has an 1850s to 1870s feel to it. This is probably one of the oldest residences on this beautiful main street. Quite lovely. Is that Frederick? Hi, Jamie. This is Denton, Maryland. Good guess. This is Denton on the eastern shore, on the way to the beaches. Yeah. Check this one out. Oh, how lovely. Okay, when we cross over, the urge to zigzag across streets, I have to stop doing it. It doesn't make for good videos. So we will get a closer look. Sometimes you need the far away look. Sometimes you want to get closer. But check that out. The Foundry, Gallery, and Gifts. Beautiful sculptures in front. We'll get a really close look there. And then here's another look at that residence. I mean, that's a picture postcard right there. Yes, Caroline County, Arjun. Erica, well, that's wonderful. Great to see you. Yes, right next to Delaware. Yep, this is the county seat. That's why we started at the courthouse today. Check out, now for our Main Street bingo, murals. We get to check off the mural box. Oops. Look at that. I mean, there's a tribute to our agricultural history there. Blueberries, tomatoes, wheat, and tulips. That is so beautiful. It does look like a clean town. Maryland is beautiful, Jamie. Hi, Rishi. Used to live in North Bethesda. I used to live in North Bethesda a long time ago. I've lived everywhere, in this general area. I've lived and worked in and around Washington, D.C. So I've lived in PG County, Montgomery County, lots of different places. All right, I really like this one. I hope the sun just peeks out a little bit, because after I do these walks, then I come back with my real camera and take photos. And you know, it's all about the lighting. All right, 403 Market Street. Okay, so 401. This is 401. Okay, I do have information. This is I bring these lists and then I don't look at them. This is 401 Market Street. This was built in 1860. Okay, so this is some heritage architecture here, over 165 years old. This one. Beautiful. And I don't have a date on this one here, but this has that 1910s feel to it to me. Jamie, yeah, Montgomery County for all the, trails and parks there are fantastic. The characteristic porches. I love a house with a porch. This is interesting. This one here, I don't think I've seen too many homes like this. The brick, the rounded wraparound porch, and that really interesting roof line. It's not pitched, it's flat on top. All right, if you can see it, peeking out behind that building, we have the water tower, and the water tower says Denton on it. Maybe we'll get a better view as we keep walking, but we can cross water tower off of our bingo card. Good morning, Robert. Hope you're doing well. Oh no, laptop issues. Oh my gosh. We're all having technical difficulties. Hi, Donna, great to see you. Hello, Amby. Nice to see you as well. We are in Denton, Maryland, the county seat of Caroline County on Maryland's eastern shore. And we're doing a small town bingo today, as we like to do on Saturdays and Sundays, but we wish we had a little more sun today. And it's a little colder than I had planned, than I had thought as well. There's a beautiful tin roof on this one. Oh my gosh, the parking meters. Yes. When I parked, I was really surprised to see an old school, not an electronic parking meter. It is so quiet here, Health Fan. You are right. Quiet and clean. All right, we've got post office. I'll be coming back up here with my camera, and to get my postmarks, I bring a blank postcard and get a postmark. There we go. There's a better view of that water tower, although you can't see Denton on it. Trust me, it says Denton. Here's a new post office building. Oh, there's music. I'm gonna have to talk. Why do they play music at gas stations so loudly? Now check that out. Do you see that symbol above the door? That circle with the little pie slices? That's a fallout shelter symbol. There's a good Cold War artifact there. We'll get a close-up look on that when we cross over the street. I'm gonna walk a little fast because of the music playing. Hi, Erky Boy. This is Denton, Maryland. It's about an hour from Baltimore. About an hour from Baltimore. As you're heading to the Atlantic beaches, Ocean City or Bethany or Fenwick Island, it's on the way. Yeah, some of them are wooden buildings. Some of them are brick. We're kind of walking down the main street. You can see where the leaves are right now. About 2 weeks ago, we had a good mix of orange and yellow. And now we're heading toward brown and no leaves on trees at this point. A couple of windy days took care of the leaves on the trees. Getting louder now. If you've watched my streams before, you know I really like when there's a variety of different styles. So some of these small cottage wooden structures mixed in with the brick and the stone structures. Looks really nice on a main street. Oh, yeah, I do like the Nordic style. They have the much steeper pitched roofs to accommodate the snow. We don't have to worry about that much snow here in terms of frequency, but sometimes when we get a blizzard, we get a blizzard. That is quite beautiful. Now the church I'm heading toward, if that's the way I'm going. Oh, I think that's the one I passed. We'll see it from the other side of the street. Good morning, Gamala. Thank you. Hi, Salvador. This is Denton, Maryland, on the Eastern Shore. So if you're in Maryland and you head out to our beaches and you stay on the highway, don't stay on the highway. Get off the highway. Take the little small town roads. Hit the main streets like this one. This is Market Street, which is the main street in Denton, Maryland. Check this one out. We're going to cross over and get a good look at the other side of the street. Everyone likes their loud mufflers around here, or no mufflers around here. I like these two. I do like a dark blue, like a navy blue or a really dark blue. And this is a beautiful wraparound porch. Yes, Bayorba. I've been to Denton, Texas. I have been to Denton, Texas. There's a lot of federal buildings there. I used to do some work there. Then you'll see the homes are getting larger as we get away from the main street. The more affluent families back in the 1800s built bigger homes toward the farmland. So this part of Maryland is agriculture. These small towns cropped up, these small towns popped up, cropped up to support the farms and the farmers with shops and places to trade and eventually jails and courthouses, businesses, banks, hardware stores, furniture stores, pharmacies, all the things that a small town needs. I think so. Erky boy, the farther away you get from the larger cities like Baltimore and Washington, D.C., I mean, this is very, I have trouble saying this word. This is very rural. This is really agricultural. Once we get away from this Main Street area here, it's all farmland as far as the eye can see. So once you get away from, and this is, like I said, an hour away from a big city. So yeah, it is less expensive to live in these small towns, but wouldn't it be great, though, to live here? This one has the feel of an old service station or a filling station. That's what I'm thinking. Feels like a Stephen King. I think it feels like a Stephen King novel because of the clouds. I think the clouds are helping with that perception there. It does seem safe, although here you don't have to worry about traffic sneaking up on you. These Pickup trucks are loud. Now this one here, I don't know if this is on the list. This was, let's see, we're in like the 500 block. No, I don't have anything on the 500 block. Oh, this certainly tells me it's a service station of some sort. Or it could this have been a firehouse? You know, with 3 bays? I don't know. This is a designated historic district listed on the United States National Register of Historic Places. And I pulled down what I could from the buildings. I'm sorry, from the website about these buildings. But there's nothing on this one. But it has a look of something really important here. Maybe for trade. A depot or warehouse of some sort? No idea. Oh, thank you, Joel. That's really nice. Hi, Bruce. This is Denton, Maryland. This is a Maryland Main Street. We just dipped off the Main Street for a minute just to look at a few more houses. We'll get back on the Main Street in a minute. But this is the county seat of Caroline County. It is on Maryland's eastern shore, on the way to the Maryland beaches. If you got off the main highway, which is Maryland Route 50, or US Route 50, I should say. If you got off the main road and got onto Business 404, you would be on the main street. I just want to peek up here at a few more of these commercial buildings that are of that same style, that stepped facade that we see in the early 1900s. And then we have this one here. This restaurant. Okay, that's a cactus. That's a cactus. What on earth is a cactus doing in Maryland? Oh, you're in New South Wales. Wonderful to see you. Oh, Centerville is great too. Yes, I did a Main Street walk in Centerville July or August. I did. And we haven't done Chestertown yet because there's too much to research about Chestertown. My list would be much larger for Chestertown. And yes, I'm wearing gloves. That's gloves. It's still in the 40s. So we have these two pretty much identical buildings here. Now, this one looks like it has been renovated with new brick in the front, but that style is still that stepped facade style. Kind of going back to the 1910s, 1920s. Usually some sort of commercial building. But I just wanted to take a peek up here. And you can see that water tower again. The Greystone Inn. Never been there? Have to try it. I really think this is now that I'm looking at it again, I think that other building is definitely the former firehouse. I could be completely wrong, but that's my guess. All right, carefully crossing the street. Yeah, that's a cactus. Why is there a cactus? It's a cactus. In Maryland. Very rare. Don't know how it survives the winter. No idea. Why no people around? It's 8:30 in the morning and it's a cold, cloudy, sadly morning. So yeah, no one around. I think when we get back to the main street though, I think some of the restaurants will be hopping. But yeah, the more I look at this definitely feels like a firehouse. So I could do some research on that. But I do think that's a former firehouse. Not today. It is not occupied now, not being used. And there's oh, you can't really see it. Another view of that water tower. Okay, well, we have lots of other things to check off on our Main Street bingo card today. What is the plan today? The plan today, Erky Boy, is check out this Main Street, come back with my real camera, although the lighting is not helping me here. So I may not do my photography with my real camera today. This lighting is terrible. And then the rest of this day, Erky Boy, is editing. I have 2,000 hours of video to edit into so many videos. And work, my real job is really busy right now, so today is editing day. And hopefully, as bad as cloudy weather is for walking, it's really good for editing. Where can I buy a lovely Mexican burrito? Oh, there's probably places everywhere. Probably places everywhere. Your super chat did not come through because I'm not monetized on this channel yet. So I appreciate that. But there's no way for you to give me a super chat. I appreciate that, Erky Boy. Yeah, I can see the clouds. It's a cloudy day today. All right, let's get back on that Main Street. We have so many more buildings to see. Hello, Jose. Nice to see you. Hello, Vibavi. Nice to see you. It's a little beauty salon here. All right, we've just taken a little step off the beaten path, or I'm sorry. Yeah, off the Main Street. The Main Street is off the beaten path. We're off the beaten path. Irish Public House. Okay. We'll have to follow that sign. Careful of the sidewalk. Wow. Okay, that would have been the time when the camera went flying. Do I know the population? I do not. Hello, Wavy. Nice to see you. Wavy, we are in Denton, Maryland. We are in a small town on Maryland's beautiful eastern shore, and we're doing our Main Street walk this morning here in Denton. And we're back on the Main Street. The Main Street is Market Street. And there's a sign for the library, which we didn't see. So it's either on the other side or down one of these side streets. So we're going to find that library too. Hi, Robert. Nice to see you. This is... Wait for the... They all have the very loud mufflers here. This is Denton, Maryland. Maryland's on the east coast of the United States. And Denton is on Maryland's eastern shore. Huge agricultural community. And this is the Main Street. Oh, thanks, Babora. Population of 5,000. In and around this area. US Route 50 runs right by here. So when folks are going to the Maryland beaches, and sometimes they dip off onto Route 404, and sometimes they completely bypass this beautiful community. Which, of course, it's good for the community that the highway doesn't go right through the Main Street. But it also means that, you know, folks who've lived here their whole lives may not have checked out this cute little town. Someone's already decorated for Christmas. Little Christmas lights. Oh, someone's decorated for Thanksgiving with turkey. That's great. All right, we looked at this one from across the street, but just look at the beautiful carving around the porch. I try not to use the word cute. I feel like some people are offended if they were to hear me call their house cute. But I think it's cute. James in Silver Spring. So James, you're about an hour and 25 minutes away from here, I would guess. So I live, I'm from Baltimore. I work in Washington and around Washington. And so these areas are a real easy trip. Good morning. These are a really easy day trip. If you want to try something different. Have I taken a pontoon cruise? No, I have not. Hi, Aminu. Yeah, we're not a political channel here at all. We're about architecture and history here. Where am I from? I'm from Baltimore. I said where I'm from, Mohammed. I'm from Baltimore. This is Maryland. Now we're back to the post office. And I had mentioned when we passed by it, this symbol above the door. Now young people won't know what that is. The circle with the yellow pie squares. Pie shapes, not pie squares. That's a fallout shelter sign. So after World War II and into the 1980s, when we were in the Cold War, in the heat of the nuclear arms race, public buildings like schools, post offices, etc., had basements dug out, and they were designated as fallout shelters. And if the alarms went off, you would run to a building with that symbol on it. That's really cool that it's still there, that it hasn't been removed. I love little historical bits like that. Pretty cool. Oh, I saw the word brutalism. I meant architecturally 60s brutal. Yeah. I have a love. I have a love, almost hate with brutalism. We can go into that conversation for a long time. But what I'm okay with is if we have these kind of 60s and 70s structures mixed in with other architecture that we've preserved. So that's my, in sum, that's my take on brutalism. I do like it when it's planned. I like the L'Enfant Plaza area of Washington, D.C. I do like the Barbican in London. So I like planned brutalism. I don't like when it's just thrown around and there's nothing else interesting to look at in the area. But we could talk a heck of a lot about brutalism. But I won't bore you all today. Hi, Muhammad. Nice to see you from Pakistan. Will I do a farm tour? The farms are really close here, but not close enough to walk. But there's that water tower. How do I feel about the change from Baltimore row houses? Oh, see my stream from Fort Avenue like a week and a half ago. I love row houses. I grew up in a Baltimore row house. And again, I just appreciate different styles. I like variety. And I love Baltimore row houses. I love the white marble steps. I love the brick. I'm not a big fan of the form stone. I'm always searching for the stained glass above the transom and the painted screens. But yeah, how did a Baltimore girl get in Denton? I try to get out on the weekend. Try to get out and do stuff and see things I haven't seen before and record things for history. So as totally geeky as that sounds, someday, 100 years from now, if someone finds one of my videos, they'll get to see what this main street looked like today. That's a pretty one. So yeah, I'm just a geek. The South Bank in London. Okay. Yeah. South Bank in London. Yeah, the National Theatre building there. I think that's what it is. Oh, that's horrendous. That is horrendous. Yeah, there's a couple things there that are bad, but the Globe Theatre, you know, has been rebuilt there, which is pretty cool. I love London. That is certainly an area to see a mix of architectural styles. Well, Aman, that's not very nice to say, is it? Well, for historians who dig for things, someone might find it, you know? I find things that people wrote hundreds and hundreds of years ago because I'm looking for it as a historian. So newspaper articles, diaries, letters that no one would think would survive. They survive because I can find them. Aman, I'm not ignoring you. I am not ignoring you. Aman, we've enjoyed you, but I'm timing you out just for a little bit. Thank you. All right, here's the church. This is, I do have my list, at number 404 Market Street. This is the former Methodist Episcopal Church, built in 1867. So I do have my details on this one. And hey, we're getting some blue sky. We're getting a little bit of blue sky. Is this Dr. Seuss Day? Well, this is not Mulberry Street. To think that I saw it on Mulberry Street. One of our favorites. 1867 for this one. Fantastic. Milwaukee is great. Milwaukee has the same kind of immigrant population from the 1800s that came through the port of Baltimore. So a lot of Germans, lots of Germans and Poles and Russians that came through the port of Baltimore. If they didn't want to stay in Baltimore, and here's what typically happened. If they came through the port of Baltimore in the summer and they experienced the humidity in Baltimore and the heat, they kept going west and north, and they ended up in places like Chicago, Milwaukee, even out to the like Minnesota, because of the weather. If they came here in the fall or winter and they were okay with that, they stayed. But yeah, for those who couldn't take the heat and humidity, they kept going. So it's kind of the same population. If you want amazing, take a trip to North Berwick or Kilcreggan. Bill, where's that? Tell me where that is. But this one, I'm kind of focusing on the Kent Liberty tattoo. This has more of that 1910s type architecture, that stepped facade. Everybody likes the stepped facade here. Hi, Maldo. Yeah, good morning. And I thought I blocked certain words out of my... I just thought I blocked certain words. Some words are getting through that I thought I blocked on my stream. This is just a quiet morning stream. I do history tours. I do architecture tours. We're back to that building called the Foundry. The one that was built in, what did we say? Not 1920. Heck. 401. Oh, 1860. This building was built in 1860. And it is a gallery and gift shop with some beautiful artwork out front. Hi, Rob. This is Denton, Maryland, on the Eastern Shore. About an hour from Baltimore and Washington, D.C. This is a small town. We're doing some small town bingo here. And we've seen the courthouse, the town hall, the town banners, the water tower, and some amazing architecture going back to the 1800s, including this one here. 1860 for this one. That is interesting. Wolfgang, Very nice to see you. Thank you for joining from Germany. Wow. And this one here, I do like this one. Okay, we dwelled on this one from across the street. And there's the mural that we visited out front of Pizza Empire. Now this is where 327 to 329. 327, okay, we're in the 400s. So it'll be on this side. 327 to 329. Look at the detail above the windows. Look at the, those squares are stained glass in the transoms. And those windows, they could be, the frames are definitely original. The panes might not be, but the frames are definitely original. We've got some spicy people in the chat today. Check that out. Speaking of Dr. Seuss, there's the Grinch. There's the Grinch in the window over there. Yeah, Rob, I have no idea. Like, what's going on? This one, 328. Oh, this, okay, this is the one. Okay, 328 was the former Denton Hardware Company, 1920. So this is the former hardware store. So check that off your Main Street bingo card. We've got the former hardware store. Where are the moths when you need them? And then next door here at 322, I don't have anything on this one, but this looks like it could have been a general store. You know, one of those department stores, maybe had a furniture store, department store. That's pretty cool. We still have some beautiful red leaves of our burning bushes here. Okay. This does say, I'm not kidding, this is the one that says it was a bank. According to my notes, 327 and 329, it just says 329, was the first national bank, 1885. So 1885 looks right for this building. Banks are usually stone instead of brick, but hey, I'm all for it. So this bank definitely is not still a bank, but that's interesting. Well, there's some interesting, interesting. A skeleton with a Santa outfit on, sitting on a lemonade stand. How? I do not know. Oh, William. I don't think you're old. I think you're experienced. Nice to see you, Flower. Now this is the one I definitely want to take a look at, but I don't think I have anything on this. This would be this would be about 200. Well, these driveways have little dips, little divots. But look at that huge building. That was a factory of some sort or something. I don't know what. It says it's the Carter Building, but I don't know why it's not on my list. So too bad. Denton, Maryland is listed on the National Register of Historic Places in the United States. And so I have my list. I have my map here. I have my map with all the historic places. And then I have my list. And this is definitely the largest building on Main Street, but I have no information on it. All I have is that it's the Carter Building. So perhaps, I'm just going to guess, perhaps it was built for multi-use. Perhaps there were little small-ish factories here. Could have been a shoemaker, a hat maker. No idea. I'll do some research and I'll post it in the comments when I post this video. Ghost hunting, I would bet there are like candlelight tours and ghost tours here around Halloween. Yeah, Jeff, I'm thinking as well. Like, and you look at the ventilation on the roof, you know, near the roof line there, and the window pattern. Yeah, this was some kind of factory. Something was manufactured here. And then here, just on this little empty lot here, there's a selfie spot. Just a little place to get your picture taken. With the scarecrows. Quite cute. You can see across the way, it's the office of the public defender is over there in the Carter building, because we're close to the courthouse. So, you know, when you get hauled in, I think the little temporary jail is down here. You get hauled in, you need your lawyers all around. They made the horror movie The Goat Man there. EJ, I had no idea. No idea. Did not know that. Now, what we haven't seen is the official Denton town sign. Haven't seen one of those beautifully painted town signs. We saw the big, you know, road sign that said, you know, Denton. Here's a little map. It's certainly worse for the wear. We are in downtown Denton, Maryland, on Maryland's eastern shore. That's hard to read. Beautiful holly bushes. Holly grows everywhere in Maryland. There's that sign. I'm not going to try to read that word. I can't say that word. Rural. Rural. It is very quiet here, William. Super quiet. Oh, now this one has that checkerboard brick pattern. We don't see that very often. I'll get close up so you can, and I'll stop walking in a second so we can see that. But here's the, I think this is the police station. Denton Police Department, right here. Here's the police station. I don't think that's one of our bingo card items. We have fire station, but not police station. Definitely a more modern building here. But check this one out. Okay, this is, let's see, if I can find 501, nope, don't have any information on this one, but let's get really close up on the brick pattern here. So this has a mix of the terracotta red and the dark red / black brick. That makes for a really cool pattern. I'm gonna zoom up on the pattern and then I'll zoom back out on the building. But that's the pattern on this building. Hello, Cockshield. This is Maryland. This is Denton, Maryland, on the eastern shore, on the other side of the Chesapeake Bay, about an hour from Baltimore and an hour from Washington. And there's the best view of that water tower that says Denton. So yeah, we're here just checking out Main Streets. And this building, okay, now I'm thinking this was the fire department, because that building we saw before was just too big to be a small town. I have to cross the street. That building was just too big to be a small town fire department. This one is about the right size and has the flagpoles in front and has the 2 bays. So this is the one I'm guessing was the historic fire department. Has to be. With that beautiful brick pattern we took a look at. Rob, thank you. I'm so glad you could join. I wish we had a brighter blue sky today, but it's still nice to get out, look at some old buildings, get some exercise, walk around on Maryland Main Street. Thank you, Rob. It's really nice of you. Hope to see you again sometime. Oh, but wait. That sign we looked at before, that was beaten down and we couldn't read it. It's fine on this side. It must be because of the way the sun hits it on the other side. So now we can read this one. This side is perfectly readable. So you can see where we are. You see the "you are here." To the left, we cross over the Choptank River. Oh, I hope I don't get that wrong. Wait, I have a map. Yes, the Choptank River. So that river there to the left is the Choptank. And this is the map of the little small town Main Street. Thank you. I appreciate that, Shrimali. Shrimali, I appreciate that. Now the one that I'm still a little perplexed on. We've seen everything I have on my list. We've seen the churches. We've seen the Denton Journal building. We'll go back there. The old bank. 113 to 115, the old Choptank Hotel. So that would have to be on this side of the street. So we got to figure that out. We've got to figure out where this old hotel was. Yeah, William, yeah, not just in big towns. I see it in small towns too. So here was that Carter building, that big commercial factory type looking building. And then directly across from it, a little shorter, is a row, definitely purpose built for shops here on this main street. The What's New shop, and there's a dress shop next door as well. Waiting for the light to change. Get these kind of old time street lights too, hanging in the middle of the intersection. That's kind of rare to see the I don't know what you call it, the four-way light. You go through Denton to get to the Delaware. Yeah, but do you come down the main street here? Or do you stick to the highway? If you just get off the highway, you'll find this little main street. So what we haven't seen, so what haven't we seen? We haven't seen an historic theater, funeral home. What else do we have? Well, we don't have a bank as a bank. We have banks, but they're not banks anymore. So our bank isn't a bank. There's that Irish pub. Triple decker. Market Street Public House. Lovely. Our lampposts here. Our town banner. This is the town hall here. We walked down this side of the street first, and now we're coming back. That's the south side. We're coming back on the north side so we can get a better look. Ooh, and my eye has been caught by an amazing, what do we call that, Queen Anne? I get my Queen Anne's and my Victorians mixed up, And the only reason why is I don't like them. It's not my thing. I'm more of a federal and colonial style person. I do like a mix, but Victorians are not my thing. Hi, David. David, this is Denton, Maryland. We're on a small town Main Street walk this morning, checking out the shops, the houses, and all the history in Denton, Maryland, which is on the eastern shore of Maryland. And I see a historic sign up there. So we're going to get to check that off of our bingo. We're playing Main Street Bingo. So if you want to play along, or if you want to go on your own adventure, if you go to my channel, under posts, you'll see a bingo card. You have to scroll down a little bit. You'll see a bingo card. And you can print that off and go on your own Main Street adventures. And let me know if you've gotten a bingo. While this has been refurbished, this definitely looks like it goes back to 1800s. And this one has a sign. So this says the war along the Chesapeake. This was an important place during the War of 1812 and the Civil War. So this is the museum. This is that Museum of Rural Life. Let's check out the sign. Welcome to Caroline County. Yeah, we are on the Chesapeake Bay. So the shipbuilding industry, the schooners and the skipjacks that ran the blockades or tried to break through the blockades in some cases. Very important area for, well, probably it has to be the busiest part of the Underground Railroad. Harriet Tubman being from here. And in our trip to Cambridge, Maryland, we saw the beautiful mural and sculpture honoring Harriet Tubman here. Huge part of our history here. And this museum is here on 2nd Street in Denton. Okay, here's the one. Let's take a closer look at this one. Has the windows boarded up upstairs. Right. Do I have? I do. Do I have a note on this one? No, I don't. Okay, I don't have a note on this one. Ballpark guess, 1880s, 1890s. Hey, Daryl, good morning. Did I travel to New York? I have been to New York. Yeah, I haven't been there recently. Good to see you, Daryl. David, I'm from Baltimore. Hi, Dakota. Good to see you. Choptank River. Hey, Greg. Yeah. Choptank. Choptank. But my favorite is the Chickahominy. In Maryland, most of our natural land features are the names that the native populations gave them. So the Potomac River, the Chickahominy, the Rappahannock, the Susquehanna, all of the names of most rivers, mountains, Allegheny, those sort of things come from the native populations that were here. And then some of the big roads and other things, counties, are the British names. So Caroline was named for Queen Caroline. We're in Caroline County now. I don't know who Denton was. I don't know where the word Denton came from. But close to here is Queen Anne County, named after, guess who? Queen Anne. In Maryland, we have Prince George's County and Anne Arundel County of the Howards. We have Howard County, Carroll County, Cecil County, Baltimore City for the Lords Baltimore, and on and on and on and on. And so I do admire this one. I do. The shape is just odd. The shape of some Victorian/Queen Anne homes are just a little off. I don't know, the roof always looks strange to me. But I do appreciate the stained glass around the windows. I do. All right, there's no sidewalk here. I'll be extra careful here. But I do want to take a little peek at this tiny church. So when you think about small towns in America growing up, in the beginning, when our colonies were founded, the people who moved over to what would become the United States, by and large, were seeking religious freedom. They also wanted to do commercial business and make a buck. But people of the same religion, moved together. So the Quakers in Pennsylvania and the Catholics in Maryland and the Puritans in New England. But then, after a while, people moved around a lot and immigrants came in, and we didn't divide ourselves by religion. So cities and towns, even small towns, would have multiple churches. You would have your Catholic church and your Methodist church and your Protestant church, and here is your Episcopal church. So your Church of England church would be here. So even in the smallest of small towns, there usually are multiple churches. And this is a cute little one. This is an Episcopal church. I don't have a date on this one. There's one that we visited in Talbot County not too long ago that dates back to the 1700s. So that was a true Church of England church, because we were still a British colony when that church was and it's still operational when that church was built. There's another one, St. Paul's near Rock Hall, that has hosted George Washington and dates way back. Hey, Kevin! Kevin, it's great to see you. Where have you been, Kevin? Kevin, I haven't seen you in a while. Hey, we're in Denton, Maryland. Now, we're not going to continue down this street because I have to go back the other way. Oh, yeah, we'll come back down this way. We'll come back down this way. But that is just a little picture, postcard, cute little church, for sure. We're in Denton, Maryland, on Maryland's eastern shore, doing a small town bingo on a cloudy day. Unfortunately, the sun keeps trying to peek through, but it is not happening. But we'll take a look back at those three, probably late 1800s there. And then this, I dare to say, monstrosity here. Ugh. It has a beauty of its own. Let's put it that way. It has a beauty of its own. Blake, hey Blake, how are you? Hi, William. Yeah, history is, I try to stick to facts. I throw in my opinion when it comes to architecture. When it comes to history, I try to stick to the historically proven facts. Although there are always, different theories we can posit. That's the fun part of academic study, is to show your work, make your proof. These little information boards are everywhere. For a small town, I see what this is. This is the utility meter. How funny is that? So they've hidden the utility meters in those little information boards. And we're back to the town hall. Hi, Melody. Nice to see you. You used to live in Maryland. Sunny, that's great. There's something for Maryland. One of Maryland's many nicknames is America in miniature, because there's so much in Maryland. There's the beaches, the mountains, the agriculture, the industry, the big towns, the small towns. And there's another one of these banners honoring those who served and who died in service to our country. Now we're back to the block we started at, but we're across the street. So you can get a really good view of the buildings across the street. There's that little teeny tiny bank. It's not a bank anymore, so we can't check that off of our bingo card. We're very strict on that one. The bank has to still be a bank. And there's that big Masonic building. Used to be a Masonic lodge. It's now called the Law Building. You can see those Masonic symbols on that little sign in front. And we're back to the county courthouse. Denton is the county seat of Caroline County, Maryland. And here's the courthouse with some work being done on the cupola. I don't see a clock being hidden under that scaffolding. So I don't think that this courthouse has the town clock. That's another thing. So here's what we didn't see on our bingo. Whoa, goodness. Okay. There's a lot of dips in the sidewalks here. Someday I'll learn. What we didn't see a town fountain. We did not see a town clock. We didn't see the funeral home and some other things. But we did see some really cool architecture. And there's just one more little building down here we'll take a look at. Ben, good morning. Blake, that's really kind of you. Oh, thank you, Ajmal. That's super nice of you. And here are all the flags we celebrated, as many of the allied nations did last week. We celebrated our Veterans Day here. Oh, look. Okay, we get to cross off War Memorial from our bingo card, because this is the Denton War Memorial, dedicated in honor of the men and women from Caroline County who served their country during the Great Wars of World Conflict. So there's the War Memorial. And to a local hero who served in Vietnam. That's quite nice. Now just down this street. Okay, now I've figured out what these little, I thought these were little signboards, and they are. But for a small town, it's like they're everywhere. Why would there be so many of them? These are where the utility meters are. So they're hiding the utility meters, which can be real eyesores, you know, out in public. They're hiding them with these little bulletin boards. What a great idea. That's really a great idea. All right, so the last building I wanted to visit is not on our bingo card, but it's here. Just wanted to just check it out. It's the jail. This is the historic jail. It was built in 1908. It is called a colonial revival. And I believe it still serves as a lockup today. So there we go. Well, Blake, it depends on where you are. You know, like I said, just a short walk from here, we would be in the middle of farmland. Like farm as far as the eye can see. But you need the little small towns to support the populations working the farms. Now, just ahead, I believe on our bingo card, we haven't talked about the visitor center yet. We do have a visitor center down here. And we still have some roses. That's quite lovely for a chilly November morning. How much for a night in jail? I don't know. I would not encourage anyone to try to find out. This isn't one of those dry counties. So you wouldn't get locked up for liquor. These are some good roses. I'm just so surprised. Shouldn't be. It's been really mild weather-wise. Yeah. Just a nice little treat. Hi, good morning. Yeah, it's been quite mild. I mean, today it's in the 40s today. There's no wind at all, not a breeze. So it's not super cold. I am wearing gloves. So just off the main street, just a little walk back toward the Choptank River, and this bridge that goes over the river is the visitor center and a beautiful view of the river, which we'll take a look at now. Carefully crossing the street. So I mentioned earlier, going from architecture to biology and ecology, that the Chesapeake Bay is the world's largest estuary. Fresh water coming down from the mountains, eventually emptying into the Atlantic Ocean via the Chesapeake Bay, which also means we have, I don't know if it is, like the Amazon I'm sure has the most biodiversity, but we have a lot of biodiversity here. We have a lot of birds and fish and cool things, and I don't see, we have egrets and herons. It's always a treat to see a blue heron. We have ospreys. If you've ever seen an osprey's talons, or if you've never seen an osprey's talon, look them up. So we'll be really quiet and see what kind of birds we can sneak up on. Oh, thank you, Blake. They're flying south right now. They probably are. All the ducks and the geese kind of right over my house is usually part of their migration path. Now, we could have gone up on this bridge to get a look at the river, but as you can hear, the traffic, a lot of people with pickup trucks here. So the traffic's really loud. So here's the park. And you can come here and visit the visitor center right here. But you can also come here to appreciate the wildlife. Oh, that's great. Kevin, yeah, we see that they're, bald eagles are kind of home here in the mountains of Maryland, and even closer to the cities of Baltimore and Washington. So we're really lucky. I see one almost every day. I know some people go their entire lives without seeing a bald eagle, but we're kind of spoiled here. So this is the Denton Visitor and Heritage Center. So you can come here and learn all about the wildlife and the history of this beautiful area of Maryland. You can also come here to get a nice little view of the river over here. And just across the river, you can see a former mill, obviously using the power of the river to power the mill. Oh, William, yeah, no thank you. I saw a coyote, where was I? Maybe Arizona? And someone said, oh yeah, they're everywhere. Like, yikes. I've seen a roadrunner too. They're tiny, they're smaller. You know, you watch the cartoon and you think of, you know, the roadrunner tall. Nope. Roadrunner on the cartoon looks more like an ostrich, I think, than a real roadrunner. But here you can launch your boat and you can see someone's either put in and taken out already this morning. You can launch your boat. You got your instruction for your minimum size. And usually, although not here, I think more around the Potomac River, usually there's a sign telling you the species of fish that you must kill, that are required kill, no catch and release. We have invasive species here, and there are certain fish, the frankenfish, if you catch it, you must kill to save our ecosystem. But this is the peaceful, beautiful Choptank River. Blake, yeah, no. I would just advise everyone, don't believe everything you hear on television. That's all. Come and experience life first. But you can see across the way, former mill. And you can also see underneath this bridge, of all places. So we have a bonus for multiple murals today, but the murals are under this bridge. Kind of an odd place to have a mural, but hey, those on the water deserve some art as well. Some history of the Underground Railroad passage here, crossing over the Choptank River, getting folks up to the north of the United States, getting the former slaves up into the north, into New England, via the eastern shore of Maryland. Thank you, Mike. So this is what it looked like in the 1900s with the ferries running from here. Obviously, there weren't as many bridges back then over the many waterways in Maryland, not just on the eastern shore, and so ferries were a really big deal. Really important. Yeah, I think it is vinyl. I think you're right. We won't count it as a mural. We will count it as artwork, though. Good morning. How you doing today? Got anything yet? Little one? Awesome. Well, good luck today. And just like that, peace and quiet here on the Choptank River. I think so. I think so. I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend. Join us for Film Club tomorrow. Film Club is tomorrow. It's the Grand Budapest Hotel on Stasis Geeks channel tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. That's where you will see me next. The sun might be trying to come through today. So I think I will grab a camera and go back to Main Street and take some more photos. Everyone have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Thanks to everyone in chat, even the wackos, for joining in chat today. Everyone have a great weekend. Take care.